Shot clock violation.
Welcome back to Shot Clock Violation, the only NBA podcast hosted by casual NBA superfans Zach Huber and Scott Schultz. I'm Zach Huber, and this is Scott Schultz.
Hello.
How you doing this week, Scott?
I'm doing pretty wonderful. It's just, like to thank the NBA gods for a wonderful trade deadline week.
Yeah, so fun. Can't wait to talk about it. And also here with us is our referee, Jack Cronin.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Fun. We're back for another week, and we're going to put 12 minutes on the clock and discuss 10 NBA topics from around the league this week. All right, this is a game show that rewards brevity and intelligibility. So for each topic, we will have a 24-second shot clock to give our take. Jack will preside over the discussion and the clock, and he'll hand out violations to whoever goes over their time or has the dumbest sounding take. Spoiler alert, usually it's both of us. At the end of the show, we'll tally all the violations, and whichever one of us has the most will have to say one awful sentence that the winner comes up with, no matter what it is. So, now, don't forget that similar to an actual NBA ref, Jack knows absolutely nothing about the NBA, but he still has absolute authority over this show. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to him.
Absolute authority, and you will respect it. Thank you, Zach. I hope you gentlemen are well limbered and have done your cardio for today, because it's going to be intense. Because
I did 15 kegels. I don't know what a kegel is, but I tried it for the first time, and it felt good.
I did a couple chalk tosses like LeBron.
Fantastic.
Damn, should have done that.
All right. The theme of this week's episode is the AllStar Game. So a lot of questions will be revolving around that, and what a serious and intense game it is. So without further ado, we're going to head on to the first question. Okay.
I'm excited.
Following another wild trade deadline week with a blockbuster trade, who is the winner of the trade deadline? Start with Zach. Timer starts now.
All right, so it's clear who won. It's the Heat, because they won the Andre Iguodala sweepstakes. That's what everybody was waiting to see this trade deadline. They won the balance of power in the NBA. And most importantly, Pat Riley has signified to these guys that he is going all in on them. And that's a special notion, I think, coming from him. He's like a longtime coach, a really important person around the league. I'm excited to see what this does to the Heat's confidence.
Very nice, with 2 seconds to go.
Woo! That was hot. Came in hot with that first
Came
take.
in hot.
Feeling good about it.
All right, Scott, back to you. Starting now.
The Houston Rockets won. Okay, look, the Houston Rockets, instead of trying to fix their weaknesses at the deadline, like with their defense and their offense, they doubled down on their strengths. That is no big man. Surround Russell Westbrook and James Harden with shooters. Let Russell Westbrook feast in the paint, where he's basically an elite big man at this point. Gosh, the first question is tough. That's it.
2 seconds to go. All right, gentlemen.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're already doing a lot
warm-up.
better than last week.
I am inclined to also agree with Scott. I'm just going to put that out there, because I also do believe that the Rockets kind of won this trade deadline as well, because me and Scott talked a little bit, spoiler alert, we talked a little bit last night about all this stuff, and we were talking a lot about the nuances of what it means to actually play to your strengths as a team, as opposed to trying to target other teams' weaknesses. And I think for this Rockets team in particular, that's like a really smart strategy, because basically everybody in the front office there is about to lose their job. So you might as well just double down and throw all those assets away, because if it doesn't work out, it's not going to matter anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Houston Rockets, you have nothing really to trade outside of Clint Capella. It's kind of interesting that they said, you know what, screw it, we're not going to try to shake it up and figure it out on the fly. Let's just double down on what makes this team great. And we've seen in the 3 or 4 games, they won again last night, the Rockets did, that Russell Westbrook looks so much better when you just surround him with shooters and let him do what he does best, because he's so elite at getting to the paint. He forces defenses to collapse and somebody's open. And when you're surrounded by 4 shooters and a Hall of Famer like James Harden, that's a pretty good recipe.
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up. Last night's game against the Celtics, actually, I checked that out. And it like everything you said, I saw it after we talked last night, and everything you said was immediately contextualized for me. Because I saw them playing against the Celtics, who are basically the Eastern Conference version of the Rockets now. They're the other pocket-sized team with like nobody on their squad bigger than 6'7". But it's like working for both of them, and it was so interesting to see both of those squads pit that strategy against each other. And it was really fun to see the Rockets come out on top in that. I mean, it was like a battle of just like fucking guns a-blazing. Like, it was wild, scoring abroad.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
And the Houston Rockets now have one of the best nicknames in the league as the Pocket Rockets. It's incredible. It rolls off the tongue. This is legendary. And best case scenario, the Rockets force the league to adapt and outlaw any player above 6'5", and it is now a short man's league.
There you have it. All right, so that's who made away big after the deadline. Who was the biggest loser of the trade deadline?
All right, who are we going to start with?
All right, Scott, I like your Pocket Rocket comment, so we're starting with you. Starting now.
Okay, listen, what the F are the Cleveland Cavaliers doing? I have to watch 67-year-old John Beilein, who got accused of calling the team thugs, but he said he called them slugs, and I tend to agree, because you have a point guard in Colin Sexton who won't pass the ball. You have Tristan Thompson, who's still coasting on being the most irrelevant Kim Kardashian relative from 2016 outside of Rob Kardashian. You have Kevin Love pouting his way to the bench, not wanting to play, and now you add Andre Drummond and his hairy shoulders. I don't ever want to watch this team again. And guess what? I have to, because it seems like the Bulls play them every night I watch them.
Fantastic. You went over quite a bit, but the buzzer wasn't working, so I had to reload it.
I was angry.
You were angry. I think the people needed to hear that.
Yeah, Scott was passionate about his hatred for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I love that.
Very well.
But
you got to bring it to
I'm
you,
about
Zach.
To take this to the next level.
All right.
Yeah, I got
and
this.
on you.
The team that clearly lost the trade deadline was the fucking New York Knicks. Because at the end of the day, they're still the New York Knicks. You can't trade your owner. I mean, that's the worst part about their franchise. And they are still stuck with that guy. They're never going to change. They're the worst team. And they lost their best player, who was just a 20-point-per-game player.
There it is.
I mean, I lost this one because I went 40 seconds over talking about Kim Kardashian, but can I counter that point?
Please. Floor's open.
The Knicks traded Marcus Morris. I don't have it in front of me, so this is where I look dumb. But I forget what they dumped off Marcus Morris for, I believe, draft picks, which was smart because originally they kept Steve Mills, their president, because he wanted to keep the squad of young assets that he signed in the offseason. They just need to dump them off and rebuild. They finally got rid of Steve Mills, though, so in theory, this is the best thing the Knicks have done all year at the deadline, is finally realize they need to dump everyone off.
That's true. But it still doesn't look good to be the New York Knicks. I mean, you got to admit that, like, at the end of the day, they're the biggest losers in the NBA no matter what, so.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Would you rather be the New York Knicks or have to watch Andre Drummond's hairy shoulders? Both of them are very, very hairy for 35 more games.
Okay, sure, Andre Drummond has hairy shoulders. But one, Scott, what's your problem with body hair? Okay, body hair is cool. Sometimes. I can't believe I'm arguing for Andre Drummond right now. This is like so counterintuitive to what I'm used to doing. But I want to win this one. I'm desperate for this victory. So you know what? To counterpoint that, Andre Drummond is, by the numbers, one of the... I'm not even going to say it. That sounds like a sentence that you would make me say at the end of the game.
Point goes to Scott.
God damn it.
I can't believe
I was
got
going
a
to say
point
he's one of the
for
best
body
big men in the
shaming.
league.
I want to apologize to everyone out there with hairy shoulders. That's all I kept saying. I really didn't have a point.
But you brought the heat, and that's what mattered.
That is what matters.
All right, fellas, we're moving on to number 3. So we're going to talk about the AllStar Game. So as we know, the NBA reformatted the game to be 4 mini games, and then after everyone fights each other, as I think I understand it. So, put yourself in their shoes. The NBA has tasked you with coming up with a new All-Star Game. Pitch your ideal version of a new All-Star Game. And again, we will start with Scott. Stand by for a timer. All right. On 3. Go.
Okay, so listen, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. That means I appreciate mascots. Benny the Bull, the GOAT of mascots. We need to draft 5 mascots each from each conference, Eastern and Western. And here's the thing. When they play the game, the starting rotation has to have a minimum of 1 mascot out there on the floor. That's right. I'm talking Giannis, LeBron, Embiid, Steph Curry, and Benny the Bull out there balling, right? But here's the best part. We're going to load a cannon at the baseline of the court. And once per quarter, you're allowed to put a mascot in the cannon with a basketball and fire it at the net. And if they score, you automatically win the game.
Can I also add that every mascot should get 1 trampoline trump card, where they get to use a trampoline in a play once per quarter?
I thought about that, but then I thought Joel Embiid would trip on it and be out for the season, and the dream would be dead.
Yeah, probably not a good look. I agree. Okay, well, I think I've got a pretty good take on this one, Jack. Load me up, dude. I'm ready to go.
All right. Hit it.
So the NBA, I think, if they want to reform their All-Star League, they need to look around at other networks and see what they're doing with their stars. And what they'll find is that they're all dancing. Okay? You need to add a Dancing with the Stars element to the All-Star Game, I think. Get those players boogieing and grooving. Show the people what they're all about. I mean, hell, maybe put it on ice, too. The fans will love that.
Oh my God, and under time. Very nice. Very nice, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm giving points to both of you.
I want to see those NBA players skating around with mascots, trying to dunk the ball off trampolines while dancing.
Listen,
I mean, it just sounds phenomenal.
We're all filmmakers here. 2 of us work at the All-Star Game. I won't say which, but imagine this image. A cannon firing Benny the Bull at 90 miles per hour, and only Rudy Gobert can stop him to win the game. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That's a great image.
And I'm going to take that amazing image, and I'm just going to, like, compound onto that. Now, imagine Rudy Gobert going up to meet Benny Bull at the rim. But to do that, he has to do a perfectly timed pirouette, spinning in the air over 3 times while launching himself from a bed of ice with a flamenco outfit on. Now, that sounds amazing to me. I mean, that sounds incredible.
I agree. We both deserve 2 points, Jack. Please, ref.
All right. This is a zero-sum game, so 2 points means the same as 1 point each.
That's beautiful. Ref, I defended you. You're calling a great game.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
The fans aren't
Nice.
booing. They're saying mover.
They're saying boo earns. All right. So we have the NBA All-Star Game on ice, and we have the Mascots Jamboree, both of which all-star ideas, fellers. All right, so moving back to the boring, regular All-Star Game. All right, who's going to be the tryhard? Who's trying too hard and wins All-Star MVP? Zach, I'm going to send it over to you. And on timer and go.
So this is really a question about who the biggest tryhard in the league is. And I think we all know that's Giannis. But I'll tell you what I want to see, okay? Because I don't want to see him take over this game. I want to see Kyle Lowry go all out in this one. This could be his last All-Star game. You know, he's getting pretty old. I want to see him posting up people for 23 seconds in the shot clock, inbounding it to himself, taking this game over. Kyle Lowry, 2020.
2 seconds to go. All right, Scott, your thoughts. Go.
It's Giannis. Listen, Giannis has tried really hard the last 2 years. Has scored over 30 points in both games, dunking, alley-oops, everything. Not only that, though, but Kobe famously challenged Giannis to win MVP over a tweet, and I think he's going to honor him by winning All-Star MVP this year.
Very nice. 7 seconds to go. Zach, do you have a rebuttal?
Damn, I mean, it's tough with that Kobe tie-in. That is pretty strong case and point, especially with as much as the Greek Freak respected Kobe and as much as he loved him and took from his game. But I'm just going to put this out there, guys, okay? Kyle Lowry, okay, in this space and pace league, in the All-Star Game, posting people up for 23 seconds at a time, is that not what the fans deserve? Come on. We want to see slowed down basketball played the old school way, grit and grind. Kyle Lowry.
Is that what we'll get, though? Is it?
Probably not.
We wouldn't have to worry
I
about grit and grind being in the All-Star Game if we could load up man-sized mascots into a cannon and fire them at will.
This really does come back to that.
Fantastic. It all comes back to that. All right. I think that was an easy one. You had us going there, Zach, but
I tried.
you tried.
I fell apart. Yeah, I really wanted to make this about Kyle Lowry. I just wanted to honor him. It's probably his last All-Star game, if we're being serious. I mean, how long can he keep up this production? He's a tiny point guard in the league. He's like 30-something, too. Like, it's not going to happen.
I love how you were standing for Kyle Lowry. I admired that bold take, and then you threw him under the bus. He's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid. You just wanted to treat him one last time.
I did, and he forsaken me. Okay, I lost that point because of you, Kyle Lowry, and I don't know if I can forgive you for that.
All right, gentlemen. Moving on to question number 5. On a recent episode of the popular All the Smoke podcast, Kevin Durant brought up the incident last season where Draymond Green yelled at him and led to Durant, quote, isolating himself and eventually leaving the Warriors. Kyrie Irving recently received criticism for calling out his teammates after a loss, and both players are literally and metaphorically hurt. And they're not playing in the All-Star game. So what would you guys do to cheer up Kyrie and Kevin Durant this weekend? And we're gonna send that. We're gonna send that to Scott. On you.
Good luck, Scott.
Hit it.
Okay, I love movies. I love the movie Secondhand Lions. In movie logic, when somebody's struggling, having a rough childhood, you know, they're not fitting in, they're getting bullied, they go home for the summer to their grandpa's house. And what better way than for Kevin Durant to go home to old man Uncle Drew, Kyrie, in his old man outfit, teaching Kevin Durant what it means to be a man.
Very nice. On to you, Zach. And go.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready. All right, so nobody really knows what these two want because they keep telling the media what they quote-unquote want, but they're constantly contradicting themselves. Kevin Durant says he wants to be surrounded by skilled players and that he wasn't in Oklahoma City, and then he leaves the Warriors, probably the most skilled team of all time. It doesn't make any sense. So I think what these two need is just supreme control over the universe. Put these two in the Matrix and let them have their way with the world. Bend reality around them. That's the only way to make them happy.
Just I'll give it to you. Fuck it, whatever. Very nice.
That was a...
Uncle...
Wait, can I counter?
I also just think they would look cool in a trench coat with, like, you know, sunglasses. So, yes, go for it, Scott.
I think Kevin Durant needs to find somebody who loves him, whether that be a friend, a love interest, and the best way to do it is to go home for the summer and learn how to be a man and what it means to be a man from Uncle Drew himself. And he could be like, hold my nuts, boy. Like from the great classic movie, Uncle Drew.
Question for you, Scott.
But the thing is, Scott... Okay.
Question. If you were to make this romp of a summer blockbuster, what kind of montages would you include in your Uncle Drew movie?
I'm glad you asked. I have a list here. Let me pull it out. So I think the montage would have to start with Kevin Durant sort of like not finding his love for the game. Like he's just kind of sitting around, you know, like he sees the basketball, he doesn't want to do it, and he finds his love again. So we show a training montage of him, probably at a summer water park, at a lake, something like that. I'm talking like Midwestern vibes. Michael Caine can play his other grandpa, and it'd just be
fantastic.
Really great.
Okay, see, the problem with that, Scott, is there's no love in the Matrix. It's a computer program. Kevin Durant and Kyrie don't need love. They need more burner accounts, and they need a fucking computer universe where they can bend reality. Okay, that's all they want. They want overall control. They're very controlling people, Scott.
That's a fair point. He's got a point. I think our robot overlords will take over, and they'll be the most prepared to fight it, so we should really counter that with a program in place of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant fighting the robot overlords.
And Terminator. See, there's a Terminator tie-in too. This is all working out very well.
Perfect.
Yeah. Can we get all of this done in a weekend? We got really ambitious.
Have a whole movie as well as create the Matrix.
Well, they've already got the Matrix. Come on, guys.
That's true.
Just gotta plug them in.
Plug them. Plug me in. All right, gentlemen. Points for both. Points for you both.
Yes. I love getting points. That's my favorite thing about this game.
Well, what's funny is like I'm adding points, but it's really like adding to your shot clock violations, but I'm doing it for both.
That's It's incredible.
Yeah.
Shot clock
So, like,
violation where the fouls don't matter and the technicals are made up.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. It's weird for a ref to swear, but yeah.
Uh-oh, we're going to have to tee up the ref? Some controversy.
Right. Whoa!
Fowler's talk dirty to me. In honor of Karl Anthony Towns. This is now a Watchmen podcast. All right. Question number 6. In honor of Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell's friendship, what 2 players should team up?
Scott has to go first on this.
Okay, this I don't know. I don't get this. Scott, explain this to me. Or don't. Just, answer.
So the idea of the question is Karl Anthony Towns unhappy in Minnesota. They're not going to make the playoffs. Kind of don't know what to do with Wiggins and that. And they go, you know what? Let's not have an unhappy star. Let's trade for his best friend D'Angelo Russell in theory so that Karl Anthony Towns will be happy. The fit will work. The chemistry will override some of the struggles they'll have of being a bottom team this year and possibly next year. Maybe they'll add another friend like Devin Booker in the upcoming offseason.
So the aim of their strategy is to become just a great family of losers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Minnesota.
Precisely.
I mean, pick any sport, and that's Minnesota.
They're going to lose, but they're going to be cheery about it, and they're going to be nice.
Yes.
There you have it. State of friendship. All right. So, what 2 players do you think should team up? We're going to go to Scott and hit it.
I thought long and hard about this. I'm inspired by the AllStar Game selection where Giannis took his world brother on the world stage and Joel Embiid, and I thought those 2 together. Could you imagine pick and rolls from Joel Embiid and Giannis? And that's my answer.
I really can't. All right, Zach. Over to you, pal. Hit it.
Okay. So I've thought a lot about this too, and there's been a lot of talk about Joel Embiid in the league this year. So I think that him and Ben Simmons should actually team up. They've been so disassociated from each other. They practically don't look like they play on the same team, even though they do. I think they need to team up and become friends so that this can be a mutual partnership, and they can maybe make a playoff run.
There you have. Scott, do you have a rebuttal?
Yes, in my best Stephen A. Smith impression. What are you talking about? You don't have a big man there. If Ben Simmons and Giannis are teaming up, that's 2 guards. You can't win with that. You need a big man. Joel Embiid is a better fit. Max.
Well, I said Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons should team up.
Oh, I thought you said Ben Simmons and Giannis.
No, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid should team up. They're already on the same team. They just need to become friends at this point.
Oh,
They
that's a
need
good
to
point.
actually be on the same team, in my opinion. That's all I'm coming.
That's a
all
great
I'm
point.
saying.
I see the miscommunication. I see it now. That's on me. And we'll grow from this.
I think you know who won that one, Jack.
Yeah. I'm giving that to you, Zach.
Yes. I won.
Scott's still in the lead by 1. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Yes.
Counterpoint ref, Zach. I think you need to look closely. He's a little clutching, a little grabbing. He's playing a little dirty.
Scott, we all know
I
you
just
slipped
love the
up.
way you feel, Scott.
I'm just saying, if you didn't whisper into the microphone, maybe I would have heard him correctly, because I project all of my problems like that.
Oh.
Get back in the game, son.
Oh. Okay, a little
Quit
trash
whining
talk.
to me.
I can do this. I can deal with this. Yeah, I'm still going to come through in the end, Scott. Your trash talk can't get to me.
I'm getting cornered. I'm getting scared.
And your beard is patchy.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Hey,
this got
hey,
personal.
Technical,
This got personal. This got
technical
personal.
foul.
That's genetics. I have no control over that.
Zach, you lost a point for that.
You know I have a hormonal disorder.
I take supplements. By the way, this
All
podcast
right.
is sponsored by Beard Supplements.
The beard supplements by Rogaine.
Very good. Need those.
All right, fellas. Question number 7. After Philly fans booed the Sixers during a home win against the Bulls, Joel Embiid took to Instagram with the caption, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain." Ex-teammate Jimmy Butler responded, "I know a place where villains are welcome. To which Embiid replied, "Damn right, my brother." So let's say Embiid wants out now. Pitch the best trade scenario for this offseason. And we're going to take that to Zach.
Woo! I'm ready.
All right. And hit it.
Okay, so if the Sixers are going to get rid of Embiid, that means they're doubling down on Simmons, which means I think they want to get some shooters around him, space the floor around him. So I say they dump him off to the Charlotte Hornets for their entire organization. I mean, we're talking Devontae Graham, Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, hell, Cody Zeller? Come on, guys. We need those shooters surrounding Ben Simmons.
All right. A whole organization trade.
That's my favorite answer, and I feel really bad for putting you down with my response.
So was that Embiid for the whole team?
Yes, including Michael Jordan, who is the team's owner.
Michael Jordan and the franchise get traded to Philly, and he comes out of retirement. That would be the most Michael Jordan thing ever.
Yes, because see, the thing is, you can't trade Cody Zeller, the biggest, most useless white guy in the league, without trading Michael Jordan, the owner, who's the only person that can appreciate him for what he's worth.
Oh my god. All right, Scott, hit it.
Okay, so if Philly has to trade Joel Embiid, most likely they're not going to want him trade him to the East with Miami and Jimmy Butler, where he would go to haunt them for years to come. They're going to trade him to the West. So here's a fun one for you guys. Ready? This trade works out, too, on the ESPN trade machine with the salaries. Joel Embiid to Portland for C.J. McCollum, Zach Collins, and any number of first-round picks. 2020, 2021, 2023. C.J. McCollum provides spacing, like Zach mentioned, you'd want around. And you get a young big man in Zach Collins.
Damn.
That was a really well orchestrated and researched answer. Mine was just kind of silly. I mean, I didn't even know there was a trade machine.
Yeah, wait,
crazy.
what the hell?
Yeah, ESPN is a trade machine. You can go on there, test out the salaries.
Oh,
Check this shit
that's
out.
Incredible. I mean, you know, literally every GM in the league is using that. Is that how Jerry West got so elite? This dude just knows how to use a laptop.
I think Jerry. That's pretty good.
Ugh.
Yeah, Ref, are you pulling up the trade machine? Try out my trade right now. It'll say accepted.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Sorry, so
All
what
right.
am I doing? I'm adding Team 1.
Team 1's Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and Team 2 is the Portland Trailblazers.
I'm going to put this out there. If his trade doesn't work out, I think he should lose. But if it does work out, I think this is kind of ridiculous because you can't put an owner into the trade machine, so you can't even test mine against his. So, I mean, it's kind of absurd.
You
to do
actually
this anyway.
you
But
can't.
if he loses, he loses.
You can actually trade a team. I tried that as well. It didn't work out. All right, so
Oh, shit.
do Joel
Okay,
Embiid
yeah.
for Philly, and then C.J. McCollum and Zach Collins for Portland.
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
Technically, you can't add the first-round picks on the trade machine. They don't have that option, but Portland would do that.
This trade is successful.
Oh, right.
Dame Lillard and Joel Embiid would be fun. That's all I'm saying. Make it happen, Portland.
Hilariously, it says for the Sixers, with this trade, you have decreased this team's projected wins by 8.
Don't mention
By
that
losing.
part.
And you'd think, oh, okay, well, maybe the Trailblazers will pick some of that up. No, they lose 6 wins.
Don't mention that part.
So this here is a net negative.
I'm doing it for the
For
kids.
both
I don't
teams.
care if they lose more games. The children want Joel Embiid with Dame. Let it happen. Give it to the kids.
That's fantastic.
Hey, I'm all for putting Hassan Whiteside out of a job, too. I just cannot bear to watch that guy anymore.
Ruthless. Okay. Zach, Hal, I'm gonna try yours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sweet.
so
The
Philadelphia.
whole team, the whole organization for one Joel Embiid.
Okay, so if you were to assign Michael Jordan a salary,
How do you put all the team's profit?
the Hornets, right?
Yeah, the Hornets. He owns the Hornets.
1 and 2 and 3.
Just one after the other. Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, Cody Zeller. You got to make sure Cody Zeller gets in on that trade.
Cody Zeller's in on it. They only have
good.
4 players with a 8-digit salary. Fucking punks.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah.
No,
well, they're gearing up for the 2021 trades. The 2020 trades, Like, there's going to be some crazy offseason moves. So, they're just liquidating assets and stacking that cash.
All right. Here we go. This trade has failed. As the 76ers are over the luxury tax threshold with this trade, and the incoming aggregate salaries exceeded what's allowed via the 125% plus 100,000 rule. We would have to cut $96 million out of this incoming trade value to make this trade successful.
Okay, but the real question is, since when did the NBA become about math? Okay, that just seems ridiculous to me.
Sports?
I don't think we should bring numbers
Math?
into this at all. Yeah,
It's flesh
absurd to me.
and blood.
The NBA is not about math.
The NBA just does.
The NBA is about storylines.
The NBA only cares about one math statistic, and that is 3 is worth more than 2. I'm with you. No math in the NBA.
Yep, just entire teams being traded for one Joel Embiid.
If you put in, oh no, that still wouldn't work. I was thinking maybe Hassan Whiteside makes $96 million, but he doesn't.
Oof. Yeah, that would be.
If you're Portland and you could trade Hassan Whiteside for the entire franchise of Charlotte and maybe the key to the city, would you do it?
The key to the city.
I'm just gonna say I don't want the key to the city of Charlotte, just because I went there once, and while it was nice, they call their downtown uptown, and that's just a little weird.
That is pretty
You're
weird.
right.
Just gonna put that.
You're right. If J. Cole's not in that trade, why are you trading with Charlotte? Like, that's it.
Exactly. That's where all the worth.
I
is.
want a J. Cole to be
Dale
named
Earnhardt
later.
Jr.
J. Cole. Upcoming J. Cole's.
Local rapper to be named later. It's like a draft.
First streaming rights to his next album. That's what we'll toss in
The
trade.
XXL.
Exclusive streaming rights.
Dame Lillard has to be featured on J. Cole's next album.
The XXL freshman class draft picks.
Yes,
Very nice.
precisely.
All right, gentlemen. Moving on to question 8. In honor of GQ's Top 10 Things I Can't Live Without segment, with frequent NBA players as guests, what are 3 things that you absolutely can live without this season? Psych. All right. What do you want to? What do you want to do away with this season? From this season?
Yeah, just let me give you a little context, Jack. So GQ has this top 10 things you can't live without segment. They do it with mainly rappers and a lot of NBA players lately. And it was just it's been inspiring me because it's so funny to me that every NBA player is literally a carbon copy of each other. They all go in there, they all cannot live without the 10 same things. It's always a watch, a travel bag, a toiletry bag, whatever book that they're trying to push so that they can make themselves look smart. Shoes, whatever their favorite shoe is, and then their car keys or something. It's literally just the most mundane things. But the fun part about it is just hearing them all talk about it and give their takes on their things. And so what's fun about this is that me and Scott desperately are eager to talk about the 3 things that we do not want to see in the league.
Oh, all right. I'm into that. All right. I'm going to give you guys a little extra breathing room on this, too. I'm going to give you
Beautiful.
2 shot clocks. I'll give you 48 seconds.
That's not legal,
to make your
ref.
case.
You're drunk with power.
You will respect my authority. All right, I'll give you guys a second to prep. Think about your answers.
Okay.
It's going to go to Scott
Collecting
first.
All right,
Scott,
ready
tell
when
me
you
when
are.
you're ready. All right, 48 seconds on the clock, starting now.
Okay, 3 things I can absolutely live without this season. Number 1, Andre Drummond. I've already gone over it. I don't need to see it, especially on this Cavs team. Number 2, Jim Boylan calling timeouts with a minute left in the game and down by 20+, only for the play out of the timeout to be blocked and got dunked on the other end. Thank you, Jim Boylan. And number 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers inevitably getting the number 1 pick because when LeBron left the first time, they got the number 1 pick 3 out of the 4 years, and I'm going to be pissed when the Cavs get it again.
There you have it, with 15 seconds to go. So did you say Just Jim Boylan.
Just Jim
Vanish. The concepts in human. Remove him. Can live without.
People on this podcast might not quite know this yet, but I think Jim Boylan is probably the most despised character in the NBA between me and Scott. He will constantly come up in every single conversation in the most negative contexts and lights.
Be prepared for that. All right.
For
Zach,
anybody who
48
didn't listen
seconds.
to episode 1, that's going to be confusing considering it says Jim Boylan is a LeBron stopper.
That's great.
Jim Boylan is the LeBron stopper 2.0. Okay, I tried to title this week's episode.
Nice.
It was weird.
Nice. All right. Zach, 48 seconds on the clock. What can you live without this season?
Okay, so first off, I'm going to go serious. I would die if there was another Zion injury. This guy's just been so exciting in the 9 games that he's been in since he's been back. He had a crazy performance last night, his first 30-point game, and he just dominated out there. I mean, it's just so fun watching him contort and move his body and the precise and insane control he has over his athleticism. It's honestly beautiful to watch. So I'm going to throw it over to Robin Lopez beating the shit out of the Kings mascot. I could live without that every day. I mean, why would the Kings mascot stoop so low as to let another opposing team just ravage him like that? He let them walk all over him, and you know what? That's a metaphor for the Kings franchise, and I'm tired of it, okay? And that's another thing, okay? I'm going to go for number 3. It's also about the Kings, okay? Because I don't want Bari Parker in our squad, okay? He's bounced around to every team in the league. He is that guy right now. He's Dwight Howard from 2 years ago. We can't have him on our squad. He's going to mess everything up. We already have a bunch of young players that are having trouble gelling together. You think adding a crotchety old man to the mix is going to help?
Incredible.
The Kings, they're disappointing me. They've got a lot of young talent, and I'm upset.
Scott?
I'm a little, as a Bulls fan, Robin Lopez is a legend during dark times, and his war against mascots is beautiful, it's righteous, and it's a just cause, and either you can get on the bandwagon or you can get out of the way, because Robin Lopez is going to knock you down and sock you.
I'm all for NBA players doing the little WWE pregame rituals, okay? It's cute. I like it. Robin Lopez looks like an ogre. It makes sense for him why he'd want to wrestle people, okay? But the point is that the Kings mascot is a lion, okay? What does the lion stand for? Courage, nobility, loyalty, okay? This guy needs to represent that for our franchise.
Zach is the
He's just
Leo,
letting
by the way.
little teams curb stomp him. Yeah, I am also a lion at heart. So seeing another lion get curb stomped by like an ogre is just kind of offensive.
You know what the elite teams do, Zach? They adjust. And your lion's a cub. It's not big enough to go down low, and it needs to adjust, but it can't. So either adjust to Robin Lopez like the elite teams do. Do you think the Warriors have a problem with Robin Lopez? No. Their mascot curb stomps Robin Lopez, okay? That's what separates the cream of the crop.
Okay, you know what? I think I just thought of the solution to this problem. Let's get Bari Parker in that mascot uniform, and let's get him out there, okay? He's got a lot of crotchety, bent up feelings, you know, all up inside of him. He just needs to let all that rage out in fluffy lion hands.
I agree. I will say I agree with your first point, though. If Zion gets hurt, that means Andre Drummond has a job in the league because somebody needs a big man, so we can't have it.
No. God. Very bad.
I like that below this question, the only thing listed, like things I can live without, the only example was Andre Drummond, not the Cavs.
It's universal.
We're not holding any punches for Andre Drummond this week.
Like,
All right, fellas.
You could make the argument that the loser of the trade deadline this year was the Pistons for getting nothing for Drummond, but listen, I would argue they got everything by addition by subtraction. Just get him out of the building.
Yes. And that's literally the case for them, I think. I think their team is just going to add, like, we could go to the trade counter if we wanted to, but I'd wager that added a couple wins to their franchise.
Fabulous. All right. It's All-Star Weekend. That means Space Jam 2 or something. Pitch us the greatest Space Jam 2 that will inevitably pay for Kevin Hart's 5th summer home. Who would like to go first?
I can't go first. I got too much. Can I use the extra 15 seconds from the last question for this?
I think that's only fair, and I will go first.
Okay, Zach, I'll give you guys 48 seconds again, you weirdos. All right, starting now.
Okay, so I'm thinking Space Jam 2 meets Like Mike. All right, LeBron brings his son in, Bronny, for his first vanity project. He's trying to get him some publicity before he makes his big leap from high school to the NBA. And so he gets them out there, gets his feet wet with some acting, some beautiful father-son moments. Things like, Bronny, you have to throw the ball in, get to the chopper! Like some classic lines like that, I'm thinking. Also, I'm just putting this out there, I want to see a looming nuclear threat from North Korea the whole time, because we got to get Dennis Rodman involved in Space Jam 2 somehow. He was flubbed in Space Jam 1, he was friends with Michael Jordan, somehow he still didn't get in. He's one of the best characters in NBA history. It would be hilarious to see him involved in the fate of the universe. I just want to see the universe in his shaky hands. That's all.
Wow, with 1 second to go.
That was beautiful.
Dennis Rodman, really nuclear threat. LeBron's kid.
If I want somebody diffusing a nuclear threat, it's Dennis Rodman.
That's very.
That's
point.
maybe
He's
like
qualified.
That's like a very serious. That was a good answer.
I mean, he's broke his dick 3 times. He knows what to do in a crisis.
Zach's got a really good high concept story driven, but me on the other hand, I'm going low concept character driven story here.
Fire it up now.
Okay, so it starts off, LeBron has just gotten sucked into the magical land of Looney Tunes, and being the ultimate businessman that he is, he sets off to make money, right? It's just China all over again. He stumbles upon a naive, sweet old lady named Granny who tells her that she happens to need a basketball coach for the summer, and he says, oh, I could do that. One day, she mentions she happens to need a cheerleader. LeBron gets an idea to call up his buddy Drake to get some money. He's like, Drake, it's like China and our Nike sponsor. Show up for a week, get paid, head out. Then she mentions she needs a driver. So LeBron thinks, oh, I'll get my buddy Kevin Hart to come in. So Kevin Hart infiltrates, right? Next thing you know, LeBron, Drake, Kevin Hart, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, because let's be honest, he's only on the Lakers because he has the same agent as LeBron, are all making money off of the sweet, innocent old lady until one day they discover a door to the basement, and who's down there but a crazed, rabid Bill Murray who's been trapped for years worshiping Larry Bird trying to get his revenge on the Monstars, and he sees LeBron and thinks, that's not a human.
There you have it. What is he, Scott?
Whoa.
He's a monster.
Fantastic. We'll call it Monster and film it in Korean.
Yes.
I guess write it in Korean.
Oscar bait 2021 Space Jam 2. Let's get subtitles on this bitch. That's a good project.
How quickly do you think are they going to make a Parasite scary movie?
They're making a Parasite TV show on HBO Max.
I saw that.
No way. That's crazy.
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. We'll see how they elaborate on that story.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty, cut and dry, full circle, tied with a bow at the end. But I guess we'll see.
I guess if it's like a mini-series where it's just a long movie, they can just do it.
It's an anthology.
It's a crazier scheme. They, work their way into the government.
The
heist gets bigger.
Yeah. Plus capitalism. Capitalism.
Yeah. Yeet. All right.
Speaking of capitalism.
What up?
The next
All right. Yeah. I like a conversation. Yeah, what's up? What are you up to? I'm listening. All right. The NHL is about to announce their new expansion team in Seattle. It's been long rumored that the NBA will bring back the Seattle Supersonics for their next expansion team. But here's the twist. Instead of adding the Supersonics, we have to replace a team with them. Which team should get up and banished and replaced with the Seattle Supersonics? I'm going to send this to Scott. And hit it.
The obvious answer is the Knicks, but I'm going to go for an underrated one. Hot take here. I think it should be the Pelicans. New Orleans basketball doesn't work out. The Jazz went to the Mormon State. They brought in the Hornets. They ruined Chris Paul's a little bit of his career right in his prime. Anthony Davis didn't do anything until he went on to the Lakers. Let's not ruin Zion. Let's banish the Pelicans, banish New Orleans basketball, and send Zion to Seattle. That would be fun.
You got it. Good time. All right.
So much better.
Zach?
Okay.
Hit it.
Okay, guys, so this is really a question about NBA markets and where they can make the most money. So to take that into account, we have to think First off, the industrial age is over, okay? Cities like Detroit and Cleveland don't have an economy anymore. And what's more, they both have had Andre Drummond on their team in the past year. Okay, so I'm just going to put this out there. I think we should banish Andre Drummond and everybody that's ever been associated with him. So not just one team, but two teams. The Pistons and the Cavs, they got to go, and we got to get that hairy ass back out of the ring.
So Zach suggests eliminating the Rust Belt.
There it is, Chief.
Yes. Get them out of there. It doesn't make sense.
And you know what? Can I add to that? Andre Drummond should be forced to wear a scarlet letter this season until he is banished and the Supersonics are ready to enter.
A lost era. Just like the industrial age, Andre Drummond is dead in this league.
We're going to eliminate the Pistons, and Jeff Bezos just gets a whole team for himself. Give it to the tech giants.
I mean, he was going to anyways.
It's only a matter of time. All right, any rebuttals or thoughts?
No, I think those are pretty straightforward. And you know what? That brings us to the tally, Jack.
It does bring us to the tally. I think with that last one, I'm going to add some drama to this because that's what I have been entitled to do.
Yes.
Zach, you were up 1 on that last one, but I think I'm going to give Scott a point on that.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
another tiebreaker.
Another tiebreaker. Sorry? No,
I was winning. How was I
Well, you're
losing?
tied now,
I was
fucker.
definitely winning.
Hey, if anybody's listening to this, can they send us the actual tally? I don't think Jack was keeping track.
Oh, if anyone's actually keeping the timing of your guys's, I flub them several times. All right.
Oh, here we go. Here we
All
go.
right,
The
you wanted to
ref
see how the
complaining about
sausage is
how hard
made,
it is to
pal.
be a ref.
All right. Where did I put my question? Oh,
Okay.
I half wrote a question. Hell yeah. Okay.
Jack has prepared a tiebreaker question this week.
I have prepared a tiebreaker question, and as is tradition, as I'm making it a tradition, it's going to be a name as many as you know question, and a point will be rewarded for each, and whoever can accumulate the most points will break the tie and win.
Here we go.
So, my original question was name as many Sylvester Stallone movies as you can, but to keep it back in the realm of sports, I'm going to ask you to name as many sports movies from 1980 to 2020 as you can.
Oh, shit.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a minute to prepare. Minute starts now. Write them down. Do you have pens, paper, notes?
Yep, I got it. I'm going.
All right, go. You have a minute.
I'm just going as
typing.
fast as possible. Oh my god.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
I'm going to give an MVP award in the middle of this. I'm giving one to both of you. Scott for pitching Parasite 2. Hell, Scott, you get another one for the Mascot Jamboree as well. And Zach, I'm giving one to you for suggesting eliminating the Rust Belt. In exchange, just for Seattle to have a team. Hell, who suggested getting rid of all of the Hornets for Joel Embiid?
That was
okay.
me.
It's a good trade.
You trying to trade? It almost
right,
worked
5,
in the trade,
four,
like the trade machine.
Fuck,
3,
fuck.
2, and time is up, fellers. Pencils down, hands where I can see them.
I know Scott came up with more.
Oh. All right, we're gonna send it to Zach first.
Okay.
All right, Zach, tell us what you got.
Okay, Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Creed 1, Creed 2, Glory Road, Space Jam, Happy Gilmore, Mighty Ducks 1 and 2, Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, and that one Disney movie with like that baseball kid who like also likes to cook, and he makes that weird barbecue sauce that's like purple and it like splatters on the ceiling, and then like he like wins this cooking competition. No, but it also has to do with baseball, and you know it, and we all like that movie.
No points awarded.
That's it.
All right, so how many was that, you fucker?
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm not counting the franchises.
10, 11, 12.
Rocky 1 and 2 are before
13,
1980.
14, 15, 16.
Does that include... unify those franchises. Turn them to one.
Oh, boo.
Boo you.
Boo you.
It didn't take any time to write them down.
I wrote them all down. I don't know. That's probably like 5 then.
What?
I named one big franchise. I named like 3 franchises.
All right, give me a better answer. Turn Rocky and Apollo or to Creed.
That's what I did. Yeah, when I knocked those into one, it's like I had like 5.
You have 5? That's your official answer?
Yeah, I had 5.
All right. One sec. One sec. All right,
No,
hang on.
6.
I get it.
It was 6. It was actually 6.
Okay.
I just
One sec. I have to be right back. I have to buzz Matt into the apartment.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
All right, Scott, list yours.
Yeah, you should. But
Shouldn't I
while
do
he's
it when you
gone, I
come
want to
back?
talk about this with you, Scott. Rocky and Creed are not technically the same franchise. I don't think that should count like that, okay? I'm just saying. I think that Rocky and Creed are separate franchises. Oh, okay.
I'm a
Rocky
little
and Creed are the
biased, so
same
I think you're
franchise. We'll
wrong.
just say that now, Scott. That's what we're going to say.
No, they're not. Rocky and Creed are different, but I'm glad we're including it as a franchise because I think Rocky 1 and 2 were before
Well,
1980.
it's your turn, Scott, so why don't you name off yours, huh?
Do it. I am ready.
Okay. Jack, you ready?
Great.
Okay, starting with Air Bud, MVP, Most Valuable Primate, Point Break, about extreme sports, Fast and Furious, the first one, about extreme street racing, Caddyshack, Eddie, the movie where Whoopi Goldberg becomes GM of the New York Knicks, pretty realistic, Glory Road, Miracle, Space Jam, Hoosiers, He Got Game,
Hey, you're doing some of those off of your
Friday
head.
Night Lights, Remember the Titans, yeah.
Damn it.
I like see you.
Caddyshack literally
I would
came out
never
in
do that, ref.
1980. I was like
Never.
so ready to rebuttal that one, and then it literally came out.
I'm also not
in
going to count
1980.
Fast and Furious because they weren't like performing it as a sport.
Thank you, Jack.
Yes, they were. Go back and watch the first one. They were street racing until it turned out they were stealing illegal DVD.
They were stealing
Sony
illegal
players.
CD players.
DVD
Sorry.
players, not CD players. That's
still
too
count
far.
that.
Also,
Draw a
still
line
not a
somewhere.
sport. Still not a sport, Scott. Still not a sport.
All right. I'm taking it away, and you still win, Scott.
Street racing's a sport.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Scott's the winner again this week. So I
Scott is
guess I
the
have to
week
say
2
whatever
winner.
sentence that he deems appropriate. Scott, what is your sentence that I have to say this week?
Andre Drummond
drum
is my
roll,
favorite
please.
basketball player.
Okay. Well, y'all, you heard it here first on Shot Clock Violation. I'm Zach Huber, and Andre Drummond is my favorite player in the NBA. I love his back hair. I love his rebound percentage, okay? Because it's not just about the number of rebounds you get. It's the amount of times that you come down with the rebound when you go up for it. And he is leading the league in that. Not just the league, but the entire history of the NBA. He has the highest rebound percentage. I love that about Andre Drummond. There's nothing more exciting to me than a single rebound that's just ripped down from the rafters of a beautiful NBA stadium. Also, he has such a wonderful hairy back. I could just like sleep in it for ages. It's like a beautiful jungle. Just want to slide down it.
You really took it and ran, didn't you?
Yeah, I decided, you know what, if I was going to really show some love for Andre Drummond, I had to show the most love for Andre Drummond.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, from now on, can we put a shot clock on that sentence? Because I was
Yeah, we would
scared
have to
Zach was
scrap
gonna
the
go
whole
to somewhere
podcast
he
for
wasn't
it.
gonna come back from.
Scott, Jack, It's black everywhere. I can't see you anymore. Where are you guys? It's me, Zach. I'm here in Andre Drummond's back hair. Everything is dark. I haven't seen the sun for weeks. Okay.
Signing off.
Too many back hair jokes. Yeah. Well, guys, that's been this week's show. Join us next week on Shot Clock Violation, where we will have another 12 minutes for more quick hot takes on stories from around the NBA. Until then, may Adam Silver bless you.
We've been recording for 57 minutes.
Shot clock violation.